Good morning, Malta and Gozo, and welcome to another episode of Lovin Daily. I'm Julian Bonici. Joining me today is JP at Party. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Julian.
How's it going?
Good, thanks.
Not bad, not bad. Today's stories are as follows. It starts off with Armir potentially getting an off-road motorsports track after getting backing from the Malta local council. Our second story has got to do with the infamous Maksar brothers and the connection to a contraband cigarette case that was kept under wraps by Malta's police. Our third is concerning PNMP Tony Bedzina after he was interrogated in connection to a corruption investigation. We then got some bits about the gender quota bill, which passes the which has passed the penultimate hurdle before being made into law. And our last story has got a bit about sport, about Sofia Bela making history after becoming the first Maltese basketball player to win a US regional tournament. How about to kick us off with what's going on in Armir, Jay?
Absolutely. So to start things off, a application to transform an area known as the Barriera Tel Akhrash has been got the backing of the Malta local council. This area is being transformed into what is known as an off-road motorsports facility for Malta Motorsports Federation. It looks to transform a 16,000 square meter land in the Barriera into this complex for where they're able to practice their off-road sports, biking, dirt biking and whatnot. But obviously, it's got the backing of the Malta local council, but it's obviously got a lot of opposition from environmentalists and whatnot. The area right now is being used as a dumping site for debris and has been degraded by significant excavation already. Still, though, a lot of people are concerned about the agricultural impact it might have, the development of this project, given that the area is protected under law. Though the Malta local council has told the planning authority that it intends to back the project, it did raise concerns over the on-site washing facilities and the use of its facilities after sunset. Environmentalists and farmers also said the area will, the project will generate a lot of pollution in the area, noise pollution, traffic, despite it being quite a rural area in nature. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I'm a bit conflicted about it, right? I think on one hand, I do have a degree of sympathy, right, for motorsports enthusiasts. They've got really nowhere to practice their sport on the islands and almost desperately need a track somewhere to at least get on it. On the other hand, I do question its location, right? Armir is probably one of the last few large green areas in Malta, and that particular area of Armir Beer is already congested, heavily. There's loads of boat houses, there are loads of beach goers, and I feel like a motorsports track might alleviate certain pressures in the area concerning noise pollution and others. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. I know it's an iffy issue. Try to look at it from all sides, but just let us know what you think about it in the comments below. On to our next story, and it's concerning the alleged criminal empire of Maksar brothers Robert and Adrian Jews. That criminal empire is slowly being unraveled, with their links to smuggling and other major crimes being laid bare by media reports. Yesterday, Lovin Malta detailed how a police discovery of contraband cigarettes totaling hundreds of thousands of euros was kept under wraps and is linked to the Ajuz brothers. The case dates back to 14th April 2013, when police discovered a van with foreign license plates in Ala carrying the payload of cigarettes. Remember, that's costing hundreds of thousands of euro. Still, no police press release was issued, raising concerns as to what the police investigation was actually doing. 2 months after the incident, then PNMP Jason Atsopardi filed a parliamentary question over the issue, but only received his reply the following December, almost 6 to 8 months after the initial incident. Then all the then Minister Manuel Malia said was that investigations were underway. However, it seems they never came to fruition. Now, well-informed sources have told Lovin Malta that it was definitely the Ajuz brothers linked to the case, raising concerns about why the police did nothing about it. When it comes to Robert Ajuz, he has actually been charged in connection to both cigarette smuggling and drug trafficking in the past, but always managed to escape because of a lack of evidence. renewed focus has been put on the Jews brothers ever since their arrests in connection with the murders of Daphne Caruana Galizia and Carmel Kirkhope, but it has raised concerns about how they were able to evade justice for so long. Lovin Malta has recently revealed that they have moles, or at least had moles, in the Malta Security Services and the police force, raising concerns about how this is going to develop. We'll keep you informed and up to date over the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. The criminal underworld, you're talking about moles and whatnot, but there's also taking consideration that also OPM Minister Carmelo Bella has also been, likened to a series of serious accusations that he was involved in the infamous 2010 HSBC heist. It seems that a lot of people in politics have somewhat in some way apparently some involvement with these criminal underworld. And former PN leader Simon Busuttil said the other day in an interview, that Prime Minister Robert Bella should sack Carmelo Abela, just for the fact that these accusations have come to the fore and they continue to crop up every now and then. Moving on to our third story, and now concerning PN MP Tony Betsina, who was yesterday interrogated over corruption investigations. Betsina, who is a PN spokesperson for Transport and Infrastructure, was questioned at the Financial Crimes and Investigation Department in Hamrun. Sources did not divulge the details of the interrogation. However, Betsina, has faced allegations of fraud and wrongdoing in the past, specifically in 2016. He lost a libel suit over reports in the newspaper Cohat and L'Horizon for 2020, which claimed that Betsina, who was employed by the Public Works Department at the time, had used government employees to carry out maintenance work at a Zurich PN club, of which he was the president of. One of the workers and eventually testified, saying that he was forced to sign a document which he disagreed with, since it stated that the workers went to work at the club out of their own free will. So clearly, it's not the first time that Betsina has been involved with these kind of wrongdoings and has been in the limelight for this. However, following his interrogation yesterday, Betsina spoke to the media and said that the investigation against him was a political frame-up. Political frame-up as he was leaving the police department yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. So when it comes to the party itself, Bernard Gregg has sort of told the nation to make a distinction, right, between an interrogation and charges. However, he did actually later say in an address that he's got to make some tough decisions to make the party more popular. What I've got to say about it all, I think it's actually quite weak from Bernard Gregg, right? We've just had a story where it concerns Carmelo Abela, where people within his own party are calling for his resignation merely for accusations, but I guess it's a case of two weights, two measures when it applies to people within your own party. At the end of the day, he does have a point that they are just accusations. They aren't even accusations at this point. They're just an interrogation. But if we actually want an opposition that actually believes in good governance, it needs to start showing its credentials as soon as possible. And I think personally, Greg should actually take maybe a strong decision and remove Betsina until this issue is resolved completely. On to our next story. Gender quotas in Parliament will soon become a reality, and just in time for the general election. This comes after the gender quota bill, or gender corrector mechanism bill, as the politicians love to call it, was approved by the Consideration of Bills Committee. That's the last hurdle before it just goes before a vote for the House. It should be rather ceremonial. However, it does require cross-party support to become law, because it's effectively changing the constitution. Both parties have announced that they are in favor of the bills in principle. However, in partisan Malta, don't be surprised if maybe some bickering erupts from it and they all change their stances immediately. At points, it's looking to address the growing gender shortages in Malta's parliament. At present, we have one of the lowest representations in the EU, with 13% of our parliament being made up by the opposite gender. The bill looks to propose to increase that number to 40%. splitting about 12 seats between the two main parties. The law won't be in effect forever. It's got an expiration date in 20 years time. However, there are still many people who are against and also for it. Some people, proponents of the bill, argue it's necessary to ensure equal gender representation in the country, while those against said it's just going to result in tokenism without actually addressing the hurdles facing women in politics. I'm a bit conflicted, but I've got to personally agree with the latter. I think quotas are all well and good, but without a proper support system to actually address the hurdles facing both women and non-binary people and people of all sorts from entering into politics. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the intention of it and the good spirit of it all, but it seems to be an interim kind of temporary solution to an overarching problem. So really, we'll just have to see how this all pans out over the years. As I said, it's got a 20-year expiration date, and we'll see that, hopefully, fingers crossed, by that time, things will have kind of ironed themselves out, and we'll see more representation of women. At least that's the intention of this corrective, gender corrective mechanism. Anyways, moving on to our last story, and now onto sports, with Sophia Bella in the United States, who has now made history of becoming the first Maltese basketball player to win a U.S. regional tournament. Sophia Bella, who plays for Ottery Rattlers, beat Casper College 94-89 in overtime last Sunday to win the 2020-2021 Region 9 tournament. In doing so, Sophia Bella becomes the first Maltese basketball player, male or female, to win a JUCO tournament in the United States. An incredible feat, showing just how far Maltese athletes can go. In the tournament, in the specific match against Casper College, Sophia Bella has scored 2 points. She also recorded a steal and 2 assists. However, prior to that, she was quite instrumental into OJC's season in general. Last month she was credited with a game-winning assist against Nebraska Community College, a highly rated basketball team. So she's clearly having a lot of success in the United States. It's great to see that she's making a name for herself out there and for the Maltese athletes as a whole.
Yeah, that's really true. Another amazing Maltese sportswoman doing really well on the international stage. And it's actually not just one discipline, right? We've got weightlifters, we've got basketball players, we've got footballers, so they're doing really well. It's really positive to see, and maybe they should be given all the support they can get, and maybe not just a quota. On that note, that's it from us from today. And remember, have a day full of lovin'.